so you can see the screen. So what I'm going to do, folks, is this is actually a bit of a new segment. This is something we're developing more and more, but this is going to be a rental market update. This is something that, we often bring on realtors. We often do market updates of where the price of real estate is. We often bring in our amazing trusted partners that are mortgage agents, and we talk about the mortgage market and where that's at. And we once in a while do rental market updates across the country, but we have an incredible platform here that is DI Vault. If you don't know about DI Vault, you really got to check it out, di-vault.com. Many of you are already in this and already checking it out. And you can see we have some incredible kind of layers here where we can see what's happening with the rents. So literally at a click of a button, I can see the entire Ontario market and where it's at. I can see Ottawa's rents are stable. I can see Kingston is stable. I can see, Oshawa. I can see, the Vaughan, Brampton areas, kind of the rents are going down. They're red. I could see the Hamilton, this section of Hamilton, the rents are, that would be Burlington. The rents are green. That means rents are going up, and so on and so forth. And that's fantastic. And those of you that are part of the DI Vault have access to that. But what I'm going to share with you tonight is I'm going to go into some details here, and I'm going to look at a couple different markets. And I know I'm probably going to get a bit of a vote going on what markets you guys want to see. I will randomly pick a couple different markets. I'll give you some anecdotes. But take a look at some of the incredible statistics we are tracking. By the way, this is the back end of DI Vault. That's what I'm showing you. This is like the statistics platform that powers the DI Vault. So let me just show you a couple things. And, because I know where most of you invest, or many of you invest, I will pick a couple random markets. And then if I'm not covering the market you want, put it in the chat. And the one who yells the loudest, I will try to incorporate your market into this. So let's jump in, and you can see some incredible statistics here. So this right now, I'm doing an analysis on Peterborough. Let's start with Peterborough. You guys know it's my home market, so I got to talk about Peterborough. Terrible market, by the way. Nobody should come here. No, of course, I'm just kidding. Peterborough has been on an incredible tear, an amazing run since for many years, since 2015, really. But here's what's been going on with the rents recently. Now, I want you to look, and don't look at all the numbers, folks, because you're going to get confused. Follow my cursor and let me walk you through it. So first and foremost, check this out. This is the rent curve for Peterborough. The green line is lower 2 bedrooms. The gray line is upper 3 bedrooms. And the reason I pick those two is because that's a pretty common like duplex setup, right? Where you have like a 3-bedroom upper and a 2-bedroom lower. Brent Mills and I are very familiar with that. We got one of those going on right now. And then you can see here, the blue line is 3-bedroom houses, and the red line is 4-bedroom houses. So check it out. Some very, very fascinating things have been taking place. Now, if you've been watching and, following along, I've been saying since mid-December, if from mid-December to mid-February, we had a real kind of slowdown in the rental market. Michelle Fong talked about this as well. We actually saw this across the country in many different markets. But you could actually see it right here in the statistics. So check it out. These are lower 2 bedrooms. Look at the low point here. Was mid-December was the low point right here in terms of the lower 2 bedrooms. They were at about $17.97 average rent. It has gone up to $20.33. Just from mid-December to now where we are in mid-March. So right now, the average 2 bedrooms, lower 2 bedrooms is $2,033 in Peterborough. You can see the upper 3 bedrooms went from the low point right here, about $23.74. Yeah, $23.66 is the low point. They are now up to $25.82 in Peterborough, upper 3 bedrooms. Brent Mills, that's very good for you and I, buddy. And you can see, this is fascinating. Look at this. This is the first time this has happened since this chart comes back all the way to September a couple of years ago. Look at 3-bedroom homes and 3-bedroom apartments are virtually the same. Check it out. Look at this, 2612 and 2586. They're virtually the same here. That's kind of fascinating. And then in 4-bedroom homes have started climbing. They were hit about a 3140 low point, and they are up to 3372. So if you're in Peterborough, here's what I want you to understand. These averages say one thing, but they don't tell you the entire picture. And I'm explaining kind of all the charts right now with the Peterborough market. I'm then gonna flash through a couple different markets and show you guys. But look at this chart. You can see here, I want you to look at these 4 charts here and follow along. This chart here is 3-bedroom homes. This chart here is 4-bedroom homes. This chart here is upper 3 bedrooms, and this chart here is lower 2 bedrooms. So check it out. You can see that a 3-bedroom home in Peterborough will rent for somewhere between $2,300 and $3,200. That's a massive distribution. Like, that's a big distribution. It's a $900 spread there. So what makes the difference? Well, location makes the difference. What else makes the difference? The fit and finishes make the difference. What else makes the difference? The yard, right? Are you in a suburb where you have like a postage stamp, or are you in East City where you have a nice big lot and you're close to the trail and you're close to the grocery stores and you feel like you're in nature, you're close to the golf courses? So where are you located? And this is one of the things that, again, when you work with a professional property management company, and if you don't, then you need to become that expert, where you need to know the areas of town that command the higher prices. Because if in your numbers you're counting on 3,200, but you actually end up getting 23 or 2,400, what's that going to do to your ROI? You are not going to be happy with your return on investment. And that's often the mistake beginner investors make, is exactly that. So that's 3-bedroom. Look at 4 bedrooms. 4 bedrooms, the distribution is essentially from 2,600 to 3,600, but really the distribution for 4 bedrooms is really from 3,200 to 3,400. So if you called me today at Visture Property Management and said, JG, I'm looking to buy this 4-bedroom house, how much do you think I can rent it for? I would tell you somewhere between 3,200 and 3,400. And by the way, these numbers are bang on, bang on. It's exactly what I would tell people, and they are the statistics. Check out the upper 3 bedrooms. So upper 3 bedrooms, if you called my office today, I would tell you that an upper 3 bedroom will rent somewhere between 2,200 and 2,600. And you can see that the bulk of the distribution is in the 2,400 and 2,500. So if you're looking to renovate your 3-bedroom unit in Peterborough, or you're looking to buy a duplex, you can count, assuming it's in a good location, assuming it's a good property that's well finished. I'm not talking about hardwood floors and granite countertops, and I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a nice, good premium unit in a good location. Doesn't have to be luxury. The luxury is clearly renting for 27, 28, and 3,000. But I'm talking about good premium. You're going to get 24, 2,500 on average, which is exactly what I tell people. And then lower 2 bedrooms, if you called my office today, I would tell you get somewhere between 2,000 and 2,200. And look, that's exactly where you are. The average is 2,000. And then as you get into the more better location and more premium finishes, you go to 2,100, 2,200. But if in your numbers, you're planning on a 2-bedroom getting 2,500 and a 3-bedroom getting 3,000, forget it. In Peterborough, that's too high. You need to set realistic market rents. Okay. The other thing I want to show you is this number right here. Whoops. Just minimize this for Peterborough. This one right here, days on market. You can see the days on market are tanking right now, which is good. But this is the slowdown I talked about, where everyone was kind of feeling it from mid-December right here. Look at that. The low point there, 12/10. So December 10th, all the way up to, remember, Patrick, I told you mid-February, things seemed to change on a dime. It was actually based on the statistics, February 21st, things change on a dime. And now the days on market are tumbling down. And you can see that right there in that graph. So Cool stats. Any questions, by the way, put it in the chat. I'm monitoring the chat, so put it in the chat. But that's kind of the rental market update from Peterborough. And now that I've explained the graphs, let me cycle through a couple different markets. And I know I'm going to start getting the request to speak about specific markets. Let me talk about Orillia. You know, I'm looking at Jules here. I know he wants to talk about Orillia. So here's Orillia's numbers right now. You can see, look at 4-bedroom homes. They are on the uptick. You can see 3-bedroom homes, they're on the downtick, and it looks like they may have bottomed out here, but they're definitely on the downtrend, whereas 4-bedroom homes are on the uptrend. You could see here, three-bedroom upper units are essentially at the, well, they've been on the way up since October, and they are right now on average, and I'll show you the distribution, but they're definitely on the way up. And you can see that the 2-bedroom lowers are essentially flat, maybe a little bit of compression there, but mostly flat. And here's the distribution for 3 bedrooms in Orillia. You can see a 3-bedroom home. The distribution is somewhere between 2,500 and 2,800 for a 3-bedroom home. A 4-bedroom home is essentially, the big distribution is between 3,000 and 3,500. Like, that's Orillia, people. I mean, this is Orillia. People ask me all the time, why do you invest in Orillia? Right there. You're seeing the numbers. Lower two bedrooms, you're looking at the bulk of the distribution between 1,800 and 2,000. I would agree with that, but I would agree in Orillia, there's not a lot of good premium. I agree most things rent between 1,800 and 2,000 in Orillia, but we own quite a few in Orillia. We manage a lot in Orillia. If you have a premium unit that's recently renovated, new floors, new paint, new kitchen, you don't need granite countertops, but it needs to be relatively new. You can definitely push to 2,200 for sure in Orillia if you have a premium product. So that's what's going on in Orillia. Let me go to a couple other markets that I'm familiar with that I know we have a lot of investors in. Let's go to good old Barrie. Don't worry, Denise Stewart, I'm going to do Ottawa for you. By the way, these kinds of statistics are coming to the West Coast, Calgary, Edmonton, Alberta. We're working on it. And they're coming. I just need a little bit more. We're tracking them. I just need a bit more data in the platform before I start showing it, but this is coming. So my West Coasters out there, I know you're all excited. We'll get to you in the coming months. So check out Barrie. So 4-bedroom homes. Haha. See that we talk about this. You experienced investors know this. We talk about this all the time. The regionality of a market is very, very important. If you saw Orillia, you saw the 3 bedrooms going up. You saw the 4-bedroom homes going up. You saw you saw most of the 3-bedroom uppers going up. You saw the flatness of the 2 bedrooms. Look at Barrie. Only 20 minutes apart, folks. Only 20 minutes apart. Very different picture. 4 bedrooms home are actually on a downtrend. They went from a high of 30, just under 3,300, and they are now down to 3,122 in Barrie. Check out 3-bedroom homes. Again, they went from a high of 2,800 this summer down to 2,704. 3-bedroom uppers are relatively flat, and lower 2 bedrooms are on a downtrend but relatively flat. And look at the distribution here. Now, it doesn't mean, by the way, folks, that you're still not going to get great rents. It's a good indicator of, and it's important for you to make data-driven decisions. That's what all of this comes down to. So you could see a 3-bedroom home in Barrie is going to rent between 2,600 and 2,800 for the average. You can see a 4-bedroom is going to rent kind of between 2,800 and 3,200. An upper 3-bedroom. Now check this out. This is interesting. An upper 3-bedroom. See how this curve is a little different? I want you to focus on this curve. Notice the peak of the curve is more to the right. You notice that? The peak of the curve is more to the right. It's not over here. It's not in the middle. It's more to the right of this graph. So what that means is there's more premium rentals that are possible over there. So if you're going to renovate and if you're going to try to push for 2,800, you're more likely to get it. That gives you a good idea that maybe it is a good idea to do granite countertops. Maybe it is a good idea to do the premium floors. You can push the rents because it has a right-handed distribution to the graph. So that's interesting, right? You can see lower 2 bedrooms. Okay. Now, see the distribution of this graph, right? It's more centered. So on average, the distribution here is between 1,700 and 2,000 in Barrie for the lower 2 bedrooms. So, and it's funny because we manage a lot of property in Barrie. We own property. We're building coach homes in Barrie right now. And it's funny because I was talking to an investor, Rain member that we manage his properties for him. And he was telling me, he said, oh my gosh, we're getting better rents in Peterborough for 2 bedrooms than we are in Barrie. And look, the evidence is right here. The upper spectrum of Barrie for 2 bedroom lower is 2,000. That number is 23 and 2,400 in Peterborough. That's the difference. So this is critical, obviously, to your investing, and hopefully, hopefully you see that. Let's look at what else we want to look at here. What else? You can see Calgary there, folks. The data is being collected. More to come. Edmonton, it's coming. I know my West Coasters, you're excited. Okay, let's go to Ottawa. Let's go to Oshawa first, then we'll do Ottawa. So look at Oshawa. Where's my Oshawa? Let me make sure here. Did we refresh this? Let me go. Sorry, guys. Just going to refresh here. 1 sec. Rental. Standby. Okay, Oshawa, and we're going to go upper 3s, lower 2s. Okay, so Oshawa, again, a very different picture. Oshawa's picture looks a lot more like Barrie. If you compare it, Oshawa's doesn't look like Peterborough. It doesn't look like Orillia. It looks more like Barrie's, where 4 bedrooms have been compressing from a high of 34.61 down to 32.42. So they're down 8%. The rents in 3 bedroom homes are down from 3,000 down to 28.14. You can see upper 3 bedrooms are trending down, and the lower 2 bedrooms are trending up. And if you look at the 3 bedrooms here, look at this, you can see on average, the distribution is kind of between 2,600 and 3,200, but the bulk of it is between 2,800 and 3,000 for Oshawa. So if you have a 3 bedroom home in Oshawa, you're going to rent it probably between 2,800 and 3,000. By the way, guys, is this good? Are you guys enjoying these kind of statistics, or am I just wasting my time here? Put it in the chat. I can't see everybody, so tell me in the chat. Tell me if I'm just wasting my time, because I'm, we got other shit to do here. I could be doing other things. So let me know. So 4 bedroom entire homes. Most of the distribution is between 3,000 and 3,500. You can see 4 bedroom homes in Oshawa rent a lot more than like a Barrie, for example. Upper 3 bedrooms. Look at this. Aha. This is the opposite of Barrie. Okay. Look at how you're on the left-hand side of the distribution here. Okay. You have now an upper 3 bedroom, 2,400 to 2,600. Okay. So this is interesting. Bella, I'll answer that in a second. So this is interesting. So you're still going to get fantastic rents. Listen, 2,400 to 2,600, but you got a left-hand side distribution. So you definitely have some opportunities down in the upper areas. In fact, 7.1% of units rent for 3,000 as an upper 3 bedroom. So interesting what's happening in Oshawa, and the lower 2 bedrooms, again, between 1,800 and 2,000. By the way, folks, if you've been watching Rain for a long time, and if you've been following, that cash flow zone calculation that you make is so critical to deciding where you should invest. And this gives you a really good idea, because if you can buy a property in Orillia or in Peterborough, let's just compare 2. Let's take a duplex in Peterborough that you can buy for $700,000, okay? And you'll get, the rents I showed you for the upper, and then the rents I showed you for the lower. If you compare that to the rents, which are lower based on this statistic, and they are in actuality, the rents are a little lower in Oshawa, but you're not going to pay 700 grand for a duplex in Oshawa. You're going to have to pay 900 grand for a property in Oshawa. What do you think happens to your overall ROI? You don't have to be a genius to figure it out. That's why the rents are so important. Okay, that's Oshawa. That's what's been happening in Oshawa. So definitely some compression happening in Oshawa. Not like Peterborough, not like Orillia. So Oshawa and Barrie kind of behaving a little bit the same. Now let's get to Ottawa. I know we got some friends in Ottawa. Okay. So yeah, 4-bedroom homes have been increasing. 3-bedroom homes relatively flat. 3-bedroom uppers, essentially a little bit of up and down, but relatively stable. So I think typically what this means, folks, when you have this kind of behavior in the chart, this means you are pushing the tip top of the rents for that category of property. And if I asked Denise and Stuart, I have no doubt they would tell me that rents have been very strong, but you're kind of having to perhaps adjust up and adjust down, like $20 up, $20 down, $25 up, $25 down, $50 up, $50 down. You're pushing the tip top of the market, and you're seeing that there in Ottawa. And the 2 bedrooms are on the uptrend from 1929 up to 2000. So here's the distribution. You could see 3-bedroom homes in Ottawa going to go somewhere between 2,400 and 2,800. But look, and this is with the bigger markets, the Torontos, the Oshawas, the Pickering, the Ajax, the Torontos, the Bramptons, the Hamiltons. Look at the distribution. Look how long that tail is. That means that there's a lot more opportunity for you to push that rent out. If you do premium units, there's a bigger demand for premium units. And you're not going to see that kind of chart out of a small market, only because it just doesn't have quite as much renter base as the Ottawas of the world, the Torontos of the world, so on and so forth. You can see here, 4-bedroom homes will rent on average between $2,600, and I would even say I would comfortably say $3,500, $2,600 to $3,500, and you could push that. And I would not be surprised if you had a good unit in a good neighborhood, you can push into the $4,000 if you had an entire bedroom, a 4-bedroom house in Ottawa. 3-bedroom upper units. Oh, this is such a beauty right here. Nice big chart from 2,200, but you could easily get $3,000. Look at this. This is a big part of the distribution here, from 2,400 to $3,000. I'd say if you have a good place in Ottawa, Denise, Stuart, confirm for me, but I think you're probably between 2,400 and 3,000. You're in the 2,600, 2,700s. Really depends on the quality of your unit. So that's an upper 3-bedroom in Ottawa, and then a lower 2-bedroom in Ottawa. Again, the majority of the distribution is between 1,800 and 2,000. But look at the again, the long distribution here. There's units rented for 3,000, 2,900. So even though the bulk of the distribution is between 1,800 and 2,000, there's in Ottawa, you could feel comfortable, again, assuming you have a good place in a good location with good finishes. There's no reason you can't get 22, 23, 2,400. There's lots of opportunity there. See, Denise and Stuart getting 2,150, right? That's exactly what I was just saying. So beautiful. What other market should I look at? I got time for one more market, folks. Put it in the chat, and then I'll end on that market. This is your rental market update. Which market should I go with, folks? Put it in the chat. Did I cover all the important markets? Renata wants Toronto. Okay, let's do Toronto. Let's do Toronto. Okay, let me just minimize that. So Toronto. 4-bedroom homes trending down, 3 bedrooms trending up. Ken Windsor. Okay, I'll do that last weekend. 3 bedrooms trending down, 2 bedrooms flat. Now look at Toronto. By the way, the Toronto charts, look, they're bigger because that's how big the distribution is, because there's that many renters there. But in Toronto, if you're looking at whole 3-bedroom homes, really the bulk of that distribution is really between 3,200 and I would comfortably say 5,500 for a 3-bedroom home in Toronto. That's a huge swing. Why? Because Toronto is a huge area. You know, what pocket of Toronto are you in? And that's why, and I don't have time to go through it all, folks, but that's why we track M1, M2, M3. These are micro markets within Toronto, because it would make a significant difference. Because look at that distribution. I mean, 3,200 to 5,500 is a massive distribution. It's the same with 4 bedrooms. You know, look at 4 bedrooms, 3,400 all the way up to 8,000 in the Toronto market. Upper 3 bedrooms, the distribution is between 2,800 and 4,000, with the bulk of it between 3,000 and 3,500. So I'd say the average rent, if you will, for a 3-bedroom upper unit or a 3-bedroom unit in Toronto is probably about 3,200, 3,300, 3,400. That's comfortable, what I'd be comfortable saying. 2-bedroom, somewhere between 2,000 and 2,600, and I think the bulk of that is happening in the 22 to 2,500 is your averages there in terms of Toronto. So, but you can see that distribution. There's some 2 bedrooms being rented for 4,500, 4,000, 3,600. Really depends on which part you're in. And as Patrick points out, there's a significant condo market as well in in Toronto, which does impact the numbers. Okay, I'll do Windsor and then we'll be done. Windsor, all right, so it looks like 4-bedroom homes have bottomed out and they started going up. So they were in a tail end of 2023 in December, 2635. They went down to 2475 and now they're climbing back up. They're 2513. So the trend is reversed. 3-bedroom homes are stable. 3-bedroom uppers are going up significantly. In fact, just from spring last year, a 3-bedroom has went from 1818 all the way up to 2,200. So that's fantastic. And 2-bedrooms are on a downslope, relatively stable, but a little bit of a downslope, but relatively stable. You can see they've been kind of in the same area, just about $1,600, since October of 2022. 4-bedroom homes in where's 3 bedrooms? Let me start here. 3-bedroom homes in Windsor. Distribution is between 1,800 and 2,800, but the bulk of it is happening kind of between 2,000 and 2,500. So I'd say you're probably going to get 23, 24, 2,500 for your home. 3-bedroom home. A 4-bedroom home is going to go for somewhere between 2,200 and 3,000, with the bulk of the distribution happening between 24 and 28. So you're probably going to get 26, 27, 28. 3-bedroom uppers, you're going to go from 2,000 to 2,500. This is actually for Windsor, this is very good. This is up over time for sure. You could see here, you're right now, you're getting a good distribution in that 24, 2,500. And it wasn't long ago, folks. Look at this. This is 2021, where 3 bedrooms were 1,800. So Windsor doing quite well. And lower 2 bedrooms, you're getting 1,400 to 1,800. Interesting, right? See, lower 2 bedrooms. Definitely the average is about 1,600. So I'd be banking on about 1,600 for a lower 2 bedroom in Windsor, Ken. You got a bit of a distribution there, but you don't got a whole lot very high. I would not, like in Peterborough, a lower 2 bedroom, I'd say you're going to get between 2,000 and 2,200 all day long. I would not be telling people in Windsor that's for sure. But based on and the lower 2 bedroom been relatively stable, but yeah, so that's your rental market update. Patrick, any thoughts? Anything you want me to elaborate on? And was that any good as